There's a popular belief that you can't say both helicopter and cheap in the same sentence because, generally, helicopters are perceived to be outrageously expensive to own and operate. Even airlines can't efficiently operate helicopters without subsidies. A lot of people have dreams of owning and flying their own helicopters around, but the logistics are a complete nightmare. So, we made a list of helicopters that'll only cost as much as an SUV. Some of these helicopters are classified under the FAR Part 103 ultralight category, meaning that operators are not required to meet any aeronautical knowledge, age, or experience requirements. D.F Helicopters DF-334. The D.F Helicopters DF-334 is a two-seat, light utility helicopter developed by Dragonfly Helicopters in northern Italy. The Dragonfly 333, created in the 1980s by archaeologists and filmmakers Angelo and Alfredo Castiglioni, served as the basis for the DF-334. The DF-334 has a bigger, fully composite interior, a Rotax 914 4-stroke turbocharged engine, a governor fuel management, and sophisticated electronic flight instrument system. Both beginner and experienced pilots are allowed to operate the helicopter. The length and height of this helicopter are 5.86 and 2.36 meters respectively. It has an empty weight of 290 kilograms, whereas its gross weight is 500 kilograms. This helicopter has a maximum speed of 92 miles per hour and economy cruise speed of 75 miles per hour. The rate of climb that this helicopter has is 1,280 feet per minute. Volocopter 2X. Completely made from carbon fiber composites, the helicopter is designed to be employed in air taxi service in urban areas, built to ferry only one passenger at a time over the congestion, overcrowding, and road closures below. But instead of facilitating high-volume air travel between cities like an airport, Volocopter wants to focus on local point-to-point travel. The best thing is that the Volocopter is extremely safe because it features multiple redundancy systems, making it completely immune to a single-point failure. And there's a ballistic parachute that will deploy in a worst-case scenario, letting the air taxi return to the ground with its passengers intact. This helicopter cruises at 62 miles per hour and climbs at 590 feet per minute, as high as 6,000 feet, with a range of 17 miles. Hungaro Copter. You probably know by looking at its name that this helicopter was manufactured in Hungary. The design process for the Hungaro started in the late 2000s. As a basic design, the company used a number of American ultralight aircraft, adapting their technical parameters and improving flight characteristics. Thus, to date, the Hungaro Copter is very popular in Hungary. Its maximum takeoff weight is 948 pounds, while its empty weight is 661 pounds. This helicopter is built to have 2 people seated in it. The power plant is the 156 horsepower Subaru EJ22 automobile engine, which provides a continuous power of 135 horsepower. Brantly B-2. The Brantly B-2 was built in 1953 as an upgrade to the Brantly B-1 because the B-1 proved to be too complex for a helicopter one would want to own personally. The B-2 was made using the B-1 rotor design, which caused the B-2 to turn out to be simpler, lighter, and more economical. Initially, the B-2 was powered by a 135 horsepower Lycoming 0290 D2. Later, the prototype was fitted with the Lycoming VO340A1A engine, which was more powerful. The basic design of this helicopter has remained in production for over 50 years. There was an improved version, which was introduced with 5 seats in the early 70s and was given the name Brantly 305. Innovator Mosquito Air. Introduced by Innovator Technologies of Canada and supplied as a kit for amateur construction, the Mosquito Air was specifically designed to be simple, but intelligent and reliable, and also comply with the US FAR Part 103 ultralight category rules, including the category's maximum empty weight of 254 pounds. The Mosquito Air is powered by a 2-cycle 64 horsepower air-cooled piston engine featuring a single main rotor and a tail rotor, a single-seat open cockpit without a windshield, and skid landing gear. The best thing is that the Mosquito offers an advantageous power-to-weight ratio, a compact size, and easy maneuverability, allowing the user to fly as close to home as possible. It cruises at 63 miles per hour, climbs at 790 feet per minute, and has a range of 70 miles, making it perfect for sightseeing flights around your community. Innovator Mosquito Air XE. The XE is a development of the original Mosquito Air with an enclosed and more sophisticated exhaust system, plus a rotor diameter increased by 40 centimeters to support the higher gross weight. It features a single main rotor and tail rotor, a single-seat enclosed cockpit with a windshield, skid landing gear, and an air-cooled 64-horsepower engine. The XE series is the industry standard for light helicopters. With exceptional auto-rotation capability and strong tail rotor authority, this machine performs as well as it looks. The Mosquito helicopter flies well and is very light on the controls. Instrumentation is sparse, consisting of an engine tachometer, an airspeed indicator, exhaust gas temperature, and cylinder head temperature. Of course, this is only sparse if you're used to flying a production helicopter with all of its mandated instrumentation, navigation, and communication equipment. This helicopter cruises at 63 miles per hour, climbs at 790 feet per minute, and has a range of 100 miles. Revolution Mini 500. The Revolution Mini 500 took flight in the year 1992. The single-seat American lightweight helicopter is designed and built by Revolution Helicopter Corporation as a kit for amateur construction. This helicopter was designed as a lightweight helicopter, which resembles a scaled-down Hughes 500, powered by a Rotax 582 64-horsepower two-stroke engine. The Mini 500's design was initially based upon Augusto Sicari's control system design as incorporated into his CH-6 prototype helicopter. Still, company president Dennis Fetters and Sicari could not agree on licensing terms for the design. The Mini 500 comes with a tubular sheet fuselage with a foam and glass fiber structured cabin. It has a two-bladed semi-rigid rotor and a conventional two-blade tail rotor. The initial price of the kit was $24,000, which came with the Rotax 582 power plant fiberglass enclosure, basic features, electric starter, landing lights, and navigation lights. Heli Sport Ch7. It was originally a small single-seat open-cockpit helicopter designed in Argentina by Augusto Sicari, further developed by Jose and Claudio Barbero with the help of the sports car designer Marcello Gandini, who redesigned it to what we know as the Ch7 Angel, a new enclosed cabin marketed in 1992. Its commercial success led to a tandem two-seat version with a stretched cabin and bigger engine, the Ch7 Compress, which is a perfect evolution of a helicopter with improved efficiency and autonomy. The Ch7 Angel helicopter has a few unique features that seem to set it ahead of the pack. First, the cockpit and canopy layout of the Ch7 Angel gives superb panoramic visibility, not to mention the fighter pilot-like feel one gets when flying an Angel. Second, the use of asymmetrical main rotor blades, which is a more efficient airfoil design than a symmetrical airfoil. Finally, it has a lower center of gravity than its competitors, which lessen the chance for dynamic rollover on the Ch7 Angel helicopter, along with allowing the Angel to be stored in garages with lower door and ceiling heights. The cruise speed for this helicopter is 99 miles per hour, a range of 300, with a standard fuel load and endurance of 3 hours. Robinson R22. The Robinson R22 is a two-seat, two-bladed, single-engine light utility helicopter manufactured by Robinson Helicopter Company. This helicopter was designed in 1973 by Frank Robinson and has been in production since 1979. The R22 has a shallow inertia rotor system, and push rods are used to operate the control inputs without the aid of hydraulics directly. Students who learn on an R22 are typically well prepared to switch to heavier helicopters, since its flight controls are susceptible and call for a gentle touch to prevent overcorrection. Operating the Robinson R22 or R44 in the U.S. requires a special endorsement by a qualified flight instructor due to the specialized training needed by the low-inertia rotor system and wobbling main rotor. To improve rotor inertia, tip weights were added to the R22. However, the compact rotor restricts weight. The R22 uses a horizontally mounted Lycoming 0320 a 360 J2A on the Beta 2, flat 4 air-cooled, customarily aspirated carburetor-equipped reciprocating engine. It's fueled with 100 LL grade aviation gasoline. Eagle Helicycle. The concept for the Helicycle was to provide a kit for building a reliable, high-performance, real helicopter for a reasonable cost to individuals. Fabrication and assembly skills only require being able to accurately drill holes, bend sheet metal and tubing, install fasteners, run wiring. No welding or highly specialized aviation-specific tools are required. Kits are delivered in 6 increments, including the frame and skids, engine, transmission, main rotor, subassembly, tail rotor subassembly, controls and linkages, cockpit exterior and interior, and fuel and electrical subsystems. Specific design features include a fully harmonized rotor, a modulated collective pitch system, very low twice per revolution vibration level due to elastomeric thrust bearings, a sufficient flapping angle for low G maneuvers and slope landings, control friction devices, and an electronic throttle control. Dynali HE Easyflyer. The Easyflyer, now known as the H3 Sport, was designed and produced by the Dynali of the Tynes, Belgium. The aircraft is supplied complete and ready-to-fly aircraft or as a kit for amateur construction. Designed for safety and simplicity, it's easy to fly, easy to maintain, and it has very low operating costs. It offers the best quality-to-price ratio in its class. Did you ever dream of landing in a friend's garden, on a beautiful sandy beach, or on the top of a mountain? This helicopter can land anywhere, thanks to its great agility. It offers a cabin which is wider than that of certain general aviation helicopters, and an all-round visibility which is unobstructed by door surrounds. The seats have been designed for the comfort of all people of all shapes and sizes, and the controls can be adjusted to fit in the pilot's hand without any stretch or strain. Options include everything from leather seats and a cabin heater to a plug to recharge your telephone. Enstrom F-28. Enstrom F-28F is a 2-seater, low-wing, and single-engine aircraft. More than 1,200 F-28 aircraft of various models have been manufactured since the model's introduction in 1965. The wings are made of ribbed aluminum sheeting, and the fuselage is mainly made of metal tubing. This affordable helicopter lies inside the $100,000 range and comes with a 225 horsepower Lycoming engine, which allows it to reach a maximum cruise speed of 185 km per hour. The F-28's travel range is 241 nautical miles or 446 kilometers. The ceiling is 13,200 feet, and the rate of climb is 1,450 feet per minute. Rotorschmiede VA115. As a full-fledged helicopter with outstanding flight characteristics, the VA115 Ultralight positions itself strongly in the gyrocopter scene. Due to its low empty mass and the performance of its coaxial rotor system, the single-seat Ultralight has an outstanding payload. The VA115 has a 2-cylinder air-cooled 2-stroke fuel-injected Hirth F-23 engine that produces 50 horsepower, a single-seat open cockpit without a windshield, and tricycle landing gear. A tiny cockpit fairing and metal tubing make up the aircraft's fuselage. Its 2 rotors, each with 2 blades, are 4.5 meters in diameter or 14.8 feet. This helicopter has been reviewed by many as one of the most beautifully engineered helicopters in the world. The VA115 can reach a maximum speed of 130 km per hour and a cruise speed of 110 km per hour. Berkut VL. This helicopter has a pretty neat set of features. It has coaxial rotors, which are fitted into the rotorcraft. The cabin width, which the VL offers, is 1.4 meters, with its external dimensions being 5.2 meters in length, 2.88 meters in height, and the width of the frontal landing gear is 1.9 meters. The main rotor is 7.3 meters in diameter. The engine model is a Lycoming with a maximum power of 150 horsepower. This helicopter's maximal flight speed is 117 miles per hour, while its best rate of climb is 1,500 feet per minute. The VL's entire service ceiling is 4,100 meters, with a maximum range of 550 kilometers. Rotorway A600 Talon. The American company Rotorway International, based in Chandler, Arizona, created and manufactured the Rotorway A600 Talon helicopter. The A600 has a single main rotor, a 2-seat side-by-side enclosed cockpit with a windshield, skid-type landing gear, and a turbocharged 4-stroke Rotorway RI600S engine that produces 147 horsepower. The aircraft weighs 965 pounds empty and 1,500 pounds gross, resulting in a usable load of 535 pounds. The payload is 433 pounds with a fuel tank of 17 US gallons. The aircraft is capable of an in-ground effect hover at 6,000 feet and an out-of-ground effect hover at 4,000 feet. Schweitzer S300. The Schweitzer S300, formerly Hughes 300, is a light utility helicopter with its basic design dating back 50 years. Speaking of years, the first flight this helicopter took was back in 1956. The two-bladed tail rotor and thoroughly articulated three-bladed main rotor of the Schweitzer S300, which advanced to the right, serve as distinguishing features of all its variations. It also has skid-type landing gear that is shock-damped. There are no hydraulics in the S300 because the flying controls are directly connected to the helicopter's control surfaces. There are typically two controls, though the civil S300 has an optional second set. In three-seat aircraft, the middle collective control stick can be removed and replaced with the seat cushion to accommodate an additional passenger. Furthermore, it comes with the Lycoming HIO 360 four-cylinder air-cooled piston engine with a 190 horsepower power rating. The maximum speed of this helicopter is 100 knots, along with a 90 knots cruise speed. LCA LH 212 Delta. This helicopter is a two-seat Italian piston engine ultralight helicopter that was first flown in 2010. The Delta has a typical pod and boom layout, with the latter being high-placed, slim, and braced until it's halfway up from the bottom of the pod with a pair of narrow-angle V-form struts. Its T-shaped tailplane has a short span and a small M-plate fins raised above the boom on a sweeping fin with a high aspect ratio. A long, curved tubular bumper shields the two blades of the tail rotor, which is located on the boom's starboard side. A two-blade main rotor is powered by a 113 horsepower Rotax 914 turbocharged liquid-cooled flat-4 piston engine positioned behind the seats and somewhat exposed at the back. The helicopter lands on the skids with a 1.5-meter skid track supported transversely by two airfoil section struts and positioned below the pod on two pairs of comparable outward leading struts. Safari 400. The Safari 400 is reminiscent of a small-scale Bell 47 helicopter. The helicopter was called the Baby Bell, but Bell Helicopters objected, so the name was changed to Safari. The Safari is a light two-seat helicopter with a bubble canopy, a two-bladed main rotor, and skid landing gear. A large portion of the aircraft construction comprises welded 4130 chromoly steel tubing. The primary and tail rotors, rotor hubs, transmission, engine, cockpit, and tail boom are all included in the kit. The majority of construction is assembly. The heart of any helicopter is the engine. It's obviously of critical importance to have a solid, reliable power unit, even more so than in a fixed-wing aircraft because helicopters don't typically have a good glide ratio. The Safari 400 is fitted with a Lycoming 0360 engine producing 180 horsepower. This gives the helicopter a top speed of 100 miles per hour and a cruising speed of 85 miles per hour. The 400 model has 2.5 hours worth of fuel and a service ceiling of 10,000 feet and operating costs per hour, wet, of $99.21. This may not sound cheap, but by helicopter standards, it's a downright bargain. Skyline SL-231. Introduced in 2014, this is a Ukrainian-manufactured helicopter with a classical design and space for 3 passengers. The SL-231 engine includes an engine shaft speed controller to reduce pilot fatigue, enhance passenger comfort, and save fuel. The regulator automatically maintains the specified engine speed while the pilot is not actively controlling the aircraft. The SL-231 chairs are an energy-absorbing composite frame with a Schwarth safety 4-point inertial belt. A chassis that absorbs energy is located under the cab. Shock absorbers also increase the energy absorption capacity of the landing gear skids, ensuring a safe landing for the pilots even at the fastest auto-rotation speed. Fama Kiss 209. The moniker KISS stands for Keep It Stupidly Simple, reflecting the philosophy of its designer, Nino Fama. The KISS 209M is a single-rotor, conventionally laid-out helicopter seating 2 side by side. The design targets were low cost and easy maintenance, combined with a comfortable cabin and good performance. Manufactured by Fama Helicopters in Italy and is made largely of composite materials, with the cabin, body panels, tail boom, and main tail rotor blades made of carbon fiber with an optional retractable undercarriage. Because the composite rotor blades have an unlimited lifespan, they don't have to be replaced, while conventional metal rotor blades on an aircraft like a Robinson R-22 have to be replaced after several thousand flight hours. Although the K209 makes heavy use of carbon fiber, it has a metal tubular frame that is filled with nitrogen. Sensors automatically check for leaks and notify the pilot, making inspections an easier process. Thanks to oil reservoirs in the airframe, it's possible for the pilot to change the aircraft's center of gravity in flight. Powering the K209 is a 162 horsepower Solar T62 gas turbine, which usually used as an auxiliary power unit (APU) on large helicopters and other aircraft. The engine can operate on Jet A1, paraffin, or diesel, although diesel results in slightly reduced power by about 10% and smoke when starting up. The T62 gives a cruise speed of 90 knots for the fixed-gear version, while the retractable version can cruise at 100 knots. Aerokopter AK-13 Sanka. Designed and produced by Aerokopter of Kharkiv, Ukraine, and supplied as a complete ready-to-fly aircraft. The aircraft features a single main rotor with the tail rotor, a 2 seats in side-by-side configuration enclosed cockpit, skid-type landing gear, and a 4-cylinder air-cooled, 4-stroke, 156 horsepower automotive engine. The best thing about this helicopter is the capabilities. You can use it for a wide range of practical purposes like search and rescue missions, surveillance, and aerial photography, as it provides good visibility in all directions. You can cruise at 90 knots in this helicopter, climb at 1,600 feet per minute with a range of 100 miles. Guimbal Cabrio G2. The Cabrio G2 is a next-generation 2-seater training helicopter, bringing us huge advances in technology and safety. Its 3-bladed articulated head negates low G, and the fenestrine tail rotor offers improved safety. Maneuverability and stability are combined with the challenge of learning to fly a light helicopter. The Cabrio is also the only piston helicopter designed from scratch with occupant protection in mind. For vertical impacts, an innovative central structure and seats design was developed and tested. It was shown during the certified crash testing program that the occupants could survive a 2,000 foot per minute crash, equivalent to a 5-meter freefall. Curti Zefhir. Developed by Italian aircraft manufacturer Curti Aerospace, the Zefhir is the result of modern aerodynamic simulations combined with Italy's tradition of style. This high-performance helicopter features a carbon fiber airframe and parts made of aeronautical alloys, which make it light, efficient, and durable. The carbon airframe offers high resistance and weighs just 72 kilograms. The Zefhir represents a real innovation in the 2-seater helicopter sector. It boasts as the first helicopter in the world to be fitted with an innovative ballistic parachute rescue system. Installed above the main rotor, the parachute is designed as a backup for conditions where auto-rotation cannot be performed, such as flight control failure or loss of maneuverability, flying over an area where emergency landing cannot be performed safely, and flight conditions that prevent restoring rotor rotation speed. In the best tradition of made-in-Italy design, particular attention has been paid to the aesthetics, giving the Zefhir a modern and attractive look. The comfort of the cabin is also top-level and is the result of careful ergonomics and design. The result is an elegant and refined helicopter, featuring quality details and, above all, spaciousness that is unmatched in its category. The aspect is particularly appreciated by tall pilots who tend to suffer the narrow spaces of other helicopters. If you like our videos, please smash the like and subscribe button. You can also join us by clicking on the link next to the subscribe button. Thanks for watching.